Abduction, Chapter 25, Part 2. Yes, alien abductions are a reality, and there's nothing I can do about that. There is, however, someone out there taking advantage of the fear and amazement of the UFO sightings. Someone is kidnapping people in Lutsk, I said. How do you know that Maxim is involved? Do you have evidence? Asked Natasha as she cocked her head to the side. Natasha looked at me through her eyebrows like I was an idiot without a clue. All I had to prove anything was a photo with Ilya in the area where one disappearance had reportedly happened. The rest were circumstantial evidence. Ilya appeared to be working with Masha Ivanovna and had worked for Maxim Volkov. It wasn't precision detective work that allowed me to gather this information, but it was all I had, and it wasn't enough to bring the local police for them to make an arrest. You don't have evidence, do you? Said Natasha. I'm close to figuring this mystery out. I need a little more time and a chance to talk with Maxim, I said. If I can talk with him, I might get the answers I need to present my case to the local police. It would be easier if you said aliens kidnapped them. I know, but I'm not that kind of man. I can't let things happen to innocent people. Natasha grinned, then bit her lower lip. That is one thing that makes you so attractive to me. I was speechless, caught up in Natasha's flattery. She placed both palms on my chest, and my heart sped up. I stared into Natasha's soft eyes and inclined my head, but I caught myself. I almost gave in to temptation again. Where's Maxim? I asked in a breathy manner as my lips were very close to Natasha's. I don't want you this way, said Natasha as she gently pushed me away. You can find Maxim at one of his warehouses on the north side of the city. He is overseeing the inventory of his wine stock before it gets shipped. You shouldn't go. I was stunned once by Natasha, and now she was saying I shouldn't hunt down Maxim? Why? Natasha curled around the edge of Maxim's desk and took out a paper from one of the desk drawers. Then she found a pen in another drawer and started writing. He is a very focused man and doesn't like to be interrupted. It was hard not to imagine Maxim being a man who hated being interrupted while focusing on making money. My vision of the man was one of a mafia don with his underlings doing whatever he needed. That was my initial impression. Maxim Volkov was a man that knew how to make money and succeeded just by his will alone. This I believe to be an accurate description of the man. It didn't take him off my suspect list, however. Why wouldn't Maxim want to talk to a man that wants more information about the deal he offered me? I asked while placing my hands on the desk to get a peek of what Natasha was writing. She finished writing and covered the paper with a hand before I could read what was on the sheet. Natasha picked up the paper and folded it in two, then sauntered away to my side of the desk. Her smile was one of confidence and spunk. It was the look of a woman who knew what she wanted. She held out the paper between her fingers, but snatched it away when I tried to take it. What would you do for this piece of paper? Teased Natasha. Depends on what's written on that piece of paper, I replied, stone-faced. Natasha frowned and hid the paper back behind her. I guess you don't want it then. It's too bad. Written on it is something you need. I wasn't going to fall for her game, and I was not going to try to reach behind her and grab the paper from her. On the paper was written the address of Maxim's warehouse. Am I right? Maybe, said Natasha with a slight tilt of her head. I can get in trouble for giving it to you, but I'm willing to risk it for a price. How much do you want? What? How much money do you want for it? Natasha raised her eyebrows in mock surprise. Money? I never thought of selling it for money, but I want something else. I want a date with you. Not what we had the other day at the cafe, but a romantic date where we can talk about life and not talk about aliens. I'm running out of time, Natasha. You know I can't do that, I replied. I'm dating someone right now and have been for years. Natasha pouted, but held the piece of paper out for me between her fingers. Tentatively, I took the parchment and looked at the address. On the form was the location of Maxim's warehouse written on it. Will you get into trouble for giving this to me? I asked with all the sincerity in my heart. If I got Natasha into trouble, I would find another way to reach Maxim. Natasha shook her head. I will not be in trouble. Maxim thinks you're a good man, and he offered you a job. He will not be mad if you choose the right time to interrupt him. What will happen if he gets angry? Natasha giggled. He will kill you. What? I exclaimed. Natasha smiled. I'm joking. Maxim is not like that. He made you an offer for a job and will treat you as a business associate. You need not worry. Natasha was playing with my mind, fears, and imagination about what I thought about Maxim Volkov. I was awash with relief. The man wasn't quite the boogeyman. He was flesh and blood, but the mystique surrounding him made him larger than life. I should be going, and thank you for the address, I said as I raised a piece of paper before turning to leave the office. Remember, you owe me a date, said Natasha. I turned around to see her lean up against a desk. Her eyes were aflame with desire. I didn't know what to say and not hurt the girl's feelings. I smiled and left before I got myself into any more trouble.